and it's matte, it's not shiny. If you see a whisk that's shiny, it's a wrong bamboo already. Now on the way to Mr. Nakata, who is making whisks from bamboo. You can see some woods of bamboo which are fairly okay. There are very few left in Japan because people just were making cars and cameras and didn't care about handicraft, about the traditional craft, like with the...
Hello, I'm Mickey.
I'm Ralph.
From Kyoto,
Japan.
So this time, where are we now?
At Mr. Nakata's shop, the whisk maker, the best in Japan.
Konnichiwa.
茶筅がこの8工程ある中で、ほんで一番茶筅のこの泡がきれいで味が立つ、それを味削りという工程がね、味削りが茶筅の一番のその腕、それから今行くとこはね、うちの職人のグループやから、これが高山の伝統工芸で、世界一、日本一でそういう歌にこのマーク貼ってね、それがあんた、こんな高いのあかんやね。 これがぐーっと高くなったり安くなったりすると、それは低いところも高いところもできるから。ということはなぜか言うと、材料こうしてこれ最初からも決まってるわけで、糸が上へ上がるほどこれミリコになるやん。このね縁とこの糸の距離が長い茶筅はみんなアウトね。それ硬い薄いこれ柔軟性で、ここねこのバネね、このバネこれができる人はないね。それが茶筅の生命線。いきましょう。
生命線を見に行きましょう。
行きましょう。
ありがとうございました。
Now we are chasing bamboo with
これが今言ってた
Okuraさん、Mr. Okura
Mr.
shows us how the most important
あれが茶筅の一番のね中心舞台。
これが日本の誇る京田辺の玉露です。舞妓の茶の一番おすすめの商品、玉露っていうのはキングオブジャパニーズティーで言われています。独特のうまみがすごく強いのが玉露の特徴です。ここ京田辺と玉露は日本一まろやかなうまみの強い玉露になります。ここももちろんそうなんだけども、作り方、作り手の力、この今舞妓の茶でも一番高級な屋敷の茶ですけれども、これは山下の茶畑で一年中この茶畑を見ながら育ててる木からできる玉露なんで、どのような気候があっても毎年美味しいものが作れます。玉露は、新芽が出てから覆いをしてだいたい30日から40日ゆっくりと育てるので、うまみが凝縮されたものができる。湯冷ましにお湯を入れてお湯を冷まします。お湯を入れていきます。
Hello, I'm Miki.
And I'm Ralph,
So from Maiko Tea.
Japan.
So this time we are going to show you all about the gyokuro, which is
Gyokuro, shaded green tea.
also it's called the king of green tea.
Oh yes, the best.
Let's go. We are in the tea field, gyokuro tea field.
Here you go. Konnichiwa, ojamashimashita. Okay, this is the Gyokuro tea field during harvest time. The ladies have already worked on these bushes here. As you see, the top leaves are gone, but over there we still see some bushes where they are working on right now. And on my right side here, these are not harvested either. Nice green fresh tea leaves. Just like with matcha, the tea fields of Gyokuro are covered. Slower growth, softer leaves. We need soft leaves because these will be pressed by hand, rolled by hand. So if you have a hard leaf, that's not good. It's gonna be very difficult to make anything like Gyokuro out of a hard leaf, but the soft ones, the sweet ones, will be rolled by hand. We'll see this later. And we have the sweetness in the leaves. We have a more relaxing ingredient, theanine in the leaves, and less catechin, so not as bitter as or astringent as the sencha tea. The top Gyokuro tea fields of all Japan, of Mr. Yamashita, Toshikazu Yamashita. His grandchild, who just left the garden, who is working over there, we'll see him later on, is continuing his work. These tea fields need lots of care, and it has to be just the right time for harvesting. So Mr. Yamashita oversees, supervises all the work here, and today is the day for this field to be harvested. These ladies here are from our village, from the Fugenji village. They have been with our company for many decades already doing this kind of work, and very experienced worker. They're very fast, very accurate. The branches here, and only the top leaves can be used for our best Yamashita Gyokuro. This is Mrs. Miyazaki, one of our veterans. She does excellent picking by hand. But before Mickey explains the hand picking, I just want to mention that these bushes can only be harvested once a year because of the shading. It puts lots of stress on the tea bush, and you can only do it once a year. So all the nutrients from the whole winter, the whole year are in these leaves. Now for the picking, please.
This is shigokizumi. これshigokizumi.
シゴキズミです。シゴキズミ。
She only pick up tea leaves.
小さいのはこのままでこう根元を取らずにここでここ
Because she only pick
ちょ
up
っときれいに摘みます。
the tea leaves. Also, normally, many people say we only pick up this first leaf and second and third. But in terms of matcha and gyokuro, need to grow up, need to more time to contain a lot of nutrients. So I think 1, 2, 3, 5 or 6 tea leaves has much more umami, nutrient and catechin. So that's why we, in terms of gyokuro and matcha, they pick up from here, not only the first one, first, second, third tea leaves.
First thing that has to be done with the harvested leaves, they go into this conveyor belt here, and they will be steamed. Stop the fermentation with steam. That's how you keep the greenness in the green tea. Japanese green tea different than other teas from China or India. The black tea, oolong tea. Japanese tea is green and very sensitive to light, odor. It will be just steamed for about 20 seconds on this conveyor belt. You can see the steam coming out, water down there. Our steam here. You can smell the tea now. Almost like a soup, tea soup. And here the leaves come out. Only this short time, not even 20 seconds. Quickly steam going on here, which you don't have this mass production that Mr. Yamashita Shinki, his grandson, of Yamashita Toshikazu, grandson, is doing here, checking everything with your eyes, with your hands, whether there's anything bad in here which should be taken out, moving at different parts here to the side. It's all still has a human touch, which you don't get with a big mass production of any other tea. He throws out what he thinks this leaf is not good, takes it out. Only the best here. Yeah. We start with the processing of the gyokuro after it has been steamed on the conveyor belt. It comes right away into this very, very small production place, manufacturing place. You won't find this anymore in Japan. These machines are like a museum. It's very old, 40 years, and they have been all adjusted by Mr. Yamashita. That is as close as possible to the method of doing everything by hand. So he has changed a lot on those machines here, you see, to get as close as possible as to the feeling he has when he does it all by hand. We'll see the first part now. It's like a drum. There are big metal bars pressing the tea on bamboo rods. Let's have them open it part. Little arms like this, pressing down the tea on rods of bamboo, which are slanted. And what's happening here is you get the scum, the dirty part, the sud, which when you do cooking, which you scoop off out of the leaves here. So the leaves, we can only put 10 kilogram in here, not more than that. Big factors, normal factors, 10 times as much. But this is very, very, very small, and it will lose probably 30% of its moisture by being pressed like this. We want to get the dry leaves later on, which we can sell. So we have to get out as much moisture as possible. Same machine, but you see it's much smaller because moisture has been gone out of it already. Has maybe half of the weight and half of the size of the. But the same thing. If you look in here, please look in here. There you see those arms of metal which have springs so you can adjust the pressure, and there's heat all the time, warmth from underneath. The scum of the tea leaves. The tea goes on this machine here, which rotates. This drum, the tea goes in here, pressure will be adjusted, with everything heat also applied. And when this rotates on this grid here, they come out as little balls. And sometimes, in other countries as well, they sell the tea after they become balls already. It's a special tea, they're round that. Over there at the beginning, you could see how he was unraveling the balls, but we also have a machine for unraveling. To bring them back later on, we want them in needle shape, straight needle shape. The next machine here, this drum, will unravel them. This is very similar to what we have seen over there. Pressure can be adjusted, heat can be adjusted. Here's the bamboo, here, put in the middle. Sometimes they fall to the side, the shovels bring them back to the middle. The broom also cleans them out from here, brings them back. Pressure can be adjusted with your eyes and touching with your hands, smelling and tasting. You can take out bad parts still. You only want the best to become the finest gyokuro. So the grid here, the bamboo grid here is much more slanted with edges, stronger edges than the other machines to get them back into a needle shape. Much more difficult than here with the gas is the one with charcoal. This one is charcoal with Japanese paper. Actually, here some of the paper is our wrapping paper, washi. It has to be Japanese paper and rice glue, all natural. And you use charcoal. This is not it. Charcoal, many drawers, and you have to rotate again. It's wrong. You do this wrong. You do this wrong, and everything that you did before is for nothing. I have explained in the other room. Is done here later on, will be cleaned up a bit manually, only by hand. You start with 3 kilograms of tea leaves, you work for 6.5 hours, and all you have left will be 550 grams of produce. That's why it's so expensive. And only an expert can do this, an expert who has done this for 10 years can properly press, do everything the machines do over there by hand. This is the highest grade of gyokuro, temomi, hand-pressed gyokuro. I show a little bit here on this table, which is used for manual production. Again, the table is with Japanese washi paper. Japanese paper. Heat is slowly applied from the bottom between your hands and let them fall. At the beginning, what the machines over there did, which looked like a metal arm. There are many ways of how to massage or press the tea leaves. If you do the rotating, which we saw where they end up as little balls, you have a motion which goes in a circle. To get them straight again, you use this board later on. Bring them up here and roll them back to needle shape.
風呂敷の包み方、ティッシュカバー包み。風呂敷を裏にして広げ、中央にティッシュボックスを置きます。A と B を真結びします。同様に C と D も真結びして出来上がりです。取り出し付近の余分な布は結び目の根元に折り込むようにするときれいに仕上がります。
Explore opportunities for international professionals in Kyoto. For its 1,300-year history, Kyoto has carried on tradition through innovation. This innovation has been created by local companies, such as a traditional Japanese card game manufacturer that developed revolutionary video game technologies.
京都はこれからオープンイノベーションもっとやりたいと思ってますし、ソーシャルイノベーションもやりたいと思ってます。でそのためにはいろんな価値観の方に来ていただきたい。思いっきり頑張りたい人は京都に来ていただくと面白いことができると思います。
この京都では今ではグローバル企業となっている企業がベンチャーとしてこの地で産声を上げました。日本電産、任天堂、そして京セラという、つまり京都では新しいもの、そしてアントレプレナーを応援するという気質が昔からあるのです。
Kyocera is a veteran Kyoto company that boasts the largest domestic market share of any electronic component manufacturer. Its products have consistently been integral parts of state-of-the-art technologies.
どういうスキルかとかそういったようなことではなくて、必要なところに外国人問わずですね投与していくというのがその基本にあります。今私たちが展開しようと思ってますのは、東南アジアとかアフリカとかまだまだ社会課題があるようなところで、まず課題抽出いたしまして、でそこで協業できるような体制が取れればというふうに現在目論んでおります。
Entrepreneurs who have launched companies in Kyoto work here, in this traditional home. Kyoto is rich in incubation centers such as this.
Well, we're a startup, and it was really nice to have a place where we can use the address to actually register as a company. We mostly work remotely, but it's really great that we can use the meeting room next door to meet with customers of ours.
Even though it's a co-working space, it's not just a place where you can come and work. It's actually a place where we'll provide a lot of consulting services for new startups, either from Kyoto locally, who are looking to expand globally, or from global companies that are trying to start a subsidiary in Japan, or companies that are trying to come in and start a business for the first time in Japan.
This venture capital company drives innovation in the manufacturing field by providing support to manufacturing startup companies.
I think the Kyoto is a big potential for startup company. The Kyoto has a history and traditional technology and academic background. I think in the startup company can use these the potential elements, and I believe that Kyoto has a big power for the startup company.
Aroma Join is a venture company that was founded in Kyoto. It is the developer and seller of Aroma Shooter, the world's first device that links video, audio, and aroma control.
ものづくりの環境が整ってますので、我々みたいなハードウェアベンチャーにとっては非常に有効活用ができる金型、電子基板、やはり東京とかに比較するとかなりお家賃とかですね、物価がある程度抑えられるので経費が抑えられると、さらに人材を採用するにあたっても、海外の人材がたくさん、大学もたくさんあるので、採用しやすい、そういった地の利もあると。
I really want to see the aroma shooter kind of penetrate more markets outside of Japan. So I would say that is a thing that's motivating me the most. I can also enjoy kind of the natural beauty and the historical beauty of the cities.
Hackarus is a Japanese venture company that provides data analysis services that leverage AI.
メンバーの3分の1が外国籍のメンバーになっていて、また国籍っていう観点以外でも専門性であったりバックグラウンドが異なるメンバーを意識的に集めています。
The best thing with working at Hackarus is all about the people and the culture I get to collaborate with. Kyoto is arguably the most pretty city in the world. My favorite spot is probably walking by Kamogawa. Kamogawa is just next to the city, but suddenly you're in nature.
The pace of innovation in Kyoto will continue to rise. We look forward to welcoming excellent talent from overseas.